As I emerged from the swirling vortex of colors, I stumbled and fell onto the damp stone floor, my head spinning. The last thing I remembered was standing in front of the time machine, setting the coordinates for 14th century England. Now, I found myself in the middle of a dimly lit corridor, with no sign of the machine or any familiar landmarks. The air was thick with the smell of mold and smoke, and the flickering torches cast eerie shadows on the walls. I struggled to my feet, my eyes scanning the unfamiliar surroundings. A medieval castle, judging by the architecture and the armor-clad guards patrolling the battlements. I knew I had to find a way out of this place, but my priority was to locate the time machine. Without it, I was stuck in the past, a stranger in a strange land. I spotted a group of servants hurrying down the corridor, carrying trays of food and drink. I fell in step behind them, trying to blend in. They led me to the great hall, where the lord of the castle, a burly man with a thick beard, sat at the head of the table. The room was filled with the sounds of laughter and clinking glasses. But I noticed a sense of unease beneath the surface. The lord's eyes narrowed as he watched me approach, and I realized I stuck out like a sore thumb in my modern attire. One of the servants whispered something in the lord's ear, and he beckoned me over. I approached cautiously, trying to gauge the situation. The lord demanded to know who I was and what I was doing in his castle. I hesitated, unsure how much to reveal. I knew that my knowledge of future events could be seen as a threat, but I also knew that I had to be careful not to arouse suspicion. I introduced myself as a traveling scholar, seeking refuge from the wars raging across the continent. The lord eyed me skeptically, but seemed to accept my story. As the night wore on, I found myself drawn into the intrigue of the castle. The lord's daughter, a beautiful young woman named Isabella, was accused of treason, and the lord was determined to see her punished. But as I listened to the whispers and rumors, I began to suspect that Isabella was innocent, and that the true traitor was still at large. My historian's instincts kicked in, and I knew I had to uncover the truth. But as I delved deeper into the mystery, I realized that I was torn between my duty to uphold justice and my growing feelings for Isabella. As the days passed, I found myself walking a tightrope between loyalty to the Lord and my own sense of morality. I knew that if I revealed the truth, I would be putting myself in grave danger. But I also knew that I couldn't just stand by and watch an innocent woman suffer. The tension came to a head when I discovered a hidden document that proved Isabella's innocence. I knew I had to act fast, before the Lord's guards could take her away. I made my way to the great hall, where the Lord was holding court. Isabella stood before him, her eyes flashing with defiance. I pushed my way to the front of the crowd, the document clutched in my hand. The Lord's face turned red with rage as I revealed the truth, and his guards moved to seize me. But I stood my ground, refusing to back down. In the chaos that followed, I managed to grab a sword and fight off the guards. The Lord himself charged at me, but I parried his blows, my heart pounding in my chest. In the end, it was Isabella who saved me, striking the Lord down with a dagger. As the dust settled, I realized that I had made a choice, one that would change the course of history. I had put my own desires above my duty as a historian, and I knew that I would have to live with the consequences. But as I looked into Isabella's eyes, I knew that it was a choice I would make again in a heartbeat. As we made our way back to the time machine, I knew that I had found a new purpose. I would use my knowledge of the past to make a difference in the present, to fight for justice and morality. And I knew that I would never be alone, for I had found a partner in Isabella, a woman who shared my passion for the truth. Together, we would face whatever challenges lay ahead, armed with nothing but our wits and our courage.